Hi, good morning, everyone, and thanks for joining today. So, we are just starting with this new series, which is Let's Talk About Market. So, over here, broadly, I'll be highlighting all the important observations that I'm seeing on strike and what it could translate as per the trend. We are starting this series new, so we would love to get your feedback as well as to what timing you might want to have. uh, we thought that maybe doing this during the market would be good, so that even you get a sense how do we analyze it real time, and how things are likely to play out. So yes, I mean that is the thing that we had in our mind. So now we are doing this live streaming during the market. So see, the format of this show will be that, as I mentioned, I'll be speaking about the interesting observations in the market, and why do we feel so based on all the data that we have on strike. And that would be followed by a small 10-15 minute kind of Q&A. So overall, this session is expected to be somewhere around 30-minute session. So that's how it will be. So now let me not waste time and present my screen. And as I mentioned, please do give us your feedback as well, as to what time you would want. Maybe if it fits in well for us, we can probably do with that timing as well. So without wasting much time, I'm sharing my screen. Okay. So let's talk about Nifty index first. Actually, in the last few days, the Nifty index has literally gone sideways and it has done nothing. And the RMI has also gone in sell. For the people who have been following us, they would know that what it means if we are above the averages. So, just for the people who don't know about the RMI indicator, the first important thing to know about this is that, and this is true for any indicator, for any of these indicators, there are two things that are required. One is price action confirmation, and the other thing is indicator. Okay. Indicator gives you a warning that this might happen, but that is not necessarily that may happen unless the price action gives us the confirmation. Okay. So in this case, the RMI has given a bearish crossover, but the prices are above the 20-day average. Okay. And anytime if you see the prices above the 20-day average, that indicates that the trend is strong. And also, people need to understand what has happened in the past few days. Basically, the Nifty index was in this range for almost a month or so. Okay, you can see over here that the sideways consolidation started from 15th of May, and it lasted probably for 1.5 month. And after that, we have seen this range breakout happening, right? And after the range breakout, what has happened is that the Nifty has consolidated and now it is trying to inch higher. And this we had even highlighted in one of our swing video as well, where actually what was happening is that there was a very big gap area that was formed in October 2024. Okay. So Nifty sort of resisted over there. It has absorbed that selling pressure and now it is trying to inch higher again. If you see the hourly chart, that is even more encouraging because after this consolidation, even if you see the correction that was sort of in a flat manner, okay, and we are around the upper end of this consolidation. So ideally, I would expect that this consolidation should eventually break out on the upside. Okay. Now you might ask me the question, why will it break out on the upside? And that's where analyzing the sentiment becomes extremely important part. So even when we do the live streaming, so I'll make sure that I try to cover what all observations I'm finding on sentiment indicators, and is there any change in view for that. Okay. So first I'll talk about the long term sentiment indicator, which is basically put call ratio volume 14 MA. Okay. Now for any major market talk to happen, okay, I'm talking about a major top, which can lead to, say, maybe a 18-month, 24-month kind of correction. For that to happen, or in fact even the breadth to narrow down, and for those sort of stuff where basically making money on the long side becomes difficult, it happens when the volume PCR comes to this bottom end of the range. Okay, which is over here as well. In 2018, the mid cap peaked over. I mean, the mid cap peaked around these levels, and in this entire phase, making money on the long side had become extremely difficult. The same thing happened after 2021. So for any major long term top to happen, I would expect that this ratio should come somewhere over here. Okay, and for it to come over here, maybe I think there is more 2, 3, 4 months left. If we continue to get a sustained up move, right? If in between we end up getting corrections and the breadth is narrow, then again this will end up going up. So which means that the long term top has not been formed. In the interim, there can be corrections, and that is what we need to deal with. And how do we deal with that? That is also something that I'll let you know. But this indicator clearly suggests that we are nowhere near the long term top as of now. Okay. Now this begs the question: what are the other indicators that are telling you? So there is one, future by OI index. Okay, this is surely alarming, because this is nothing but your ratio of what is the future activity as compared to the index level. Okay, so when this ratio goes above 1700, we have observed that it typically means that there is a lot of speculation that is happening in the market, and uh, whenever a lot of speculation happens in the market, it normally doesn't end well. Okay, so that is the assumption. So over here you can see that this ratio has surpassed 1700 and it is sustaining above that. So this is one indicator which is concerning for the long term. But understand that these are all long term indicators. Okay, it's not necessary that if it hits those levels, then we are going to make top next day. It can be a multi-month process as well, and that's where agreement of all the long-term indicators should be in place for us to conclude that a top is happening. Okay, so say for example, if the volume PCR was also around the lower end of the range, and we had future OI by index at higher levels, and DII also ends up making big long-term tops and bottoms, I mean these indicators. So for a long-term top to occur, okay, for a long-term top to occur, they should be short, they should be extreme short. Okay, you can see over here they were short, over here also they were short. So basically in such times you end up getting that 8-10% correction also sometime, or sometimes it can be bigger than that. So even for that, this positioning has to come over here for you to say that maybe a long term panic is there. Okay, so as of now, when I see these things, it gives me relatively good confidence that we are nowhere near the long term top. Okay, so now this begs the question: what is happening in the medium term? Okay, and in medium term, usually tracking the FI position itself can be very useful. Okay, so over here FIs usually stay with the trend, but I'll tell you that there is some disconnect over here, and I'm not sure what the disconnect is. But you can see that after 2022 or even earlier as well, whenever their positions came to the extreme on the downside, that's where a meaningful bottom also occurred, right? You can see over here, here, okay, over here, here. So this was record shorting over here. Okay, and that also led to a correction. But now, despite this short covering rally, they have not covered. And typically I have seen that their positioning moves from one extreme to the other extreme, right? It moves from the one extreme to the other extreme, and so far we haven't reached the other extreme yet. So it's only when the positioning would be somewhere over here I'll be start getting worried from a medium term perspective. Okay, so this tells me that long term it is not a concern so far. Okay, in the medium term also it is not a concern so far, because also understand that the price action is also giving no signs of reversal. If the price action say would have broken if the price action would have broken this low, or somewhere around here this low, then I would have been a little scared, and I would have given less weightage to the sentiment indicators. But when the price trend is up and the sentiment indicators are pointing out the other way, usually I would give more importance to price action, and I will expect that the sentiment indicators will also eventually follow that trend. Okay. So this is the other thing that gives me confidence from the medium term perspective as well, that things are not bad yet, which means there would be more upside left. So this is the combination of FII plus climb. This also signals the same thing. When it's at the bottom end of the range, it is typically a bottom, and when we are at the top end of the range, that's where a top usually occurs, right? So this, so far we are at the bottom end of the range only, and it has some way to go on the upside before we eventually end up seeing a top. So this is where I even get reasonable amount of confidence from the medium term perspective. Now, what is happening in the short term? So in the short term, swing helps a lot in catching the minor tops and bottoms. So over here also, what had happened was that when we made this high, the swing reading was extremely high, and that's where we end up seeing some sort of consolidation. But when I look at the broader trend, all looks good, because we are making higher tops, higher bottom, we are trading above the breakout level. So in those aspects, everything is good, right? So to form a market view, this is what I see almost every day. Whether are there any data point changing, which makes me consider that we should look at the bearish possibility as well. So far I'm not seeing that, right? So then the next thing that comes is that what do we need to see then? Okay, what do we which sectors, or what do we look at? So for that, there are two things that I actually look out for. So one is I look into RRG, and also I look into basically something called as Rohit momentum indicator, which is our proprietary indicator. Okay, so I look at those stuff as well. Over here, see, there is one thing that I've done. I've made RRG indices so that it excludes the small cap, mid cap, and everything. Okay, when I do this, it gives me a fair idea about the sectors. Okay, what I would be more interested at this point of time in the sectors would be the ones that are turning around. Okay, now the reason why looking at the turning around sectors makes sense, that I had covered in a very detailed webinar which I had done this Sunday. If you have missed it, just go to our platform, or you can go to our YouTube channel, strike_IC, and you can go it in the live, and you can check it in the live section about the webinar. You can also check it on the Twitter feed as well. We had just done it on Sunday, so you should be able to get it. So FMCG, pharma are the ones where it is turning around. Consumer durable also, we have seen a good turnaround, and maybe these are the sectors where right now the opportunity prevails, because the other ones, they are already up. So of course you are able to see the setups over there, then it's better to go ahead with that. But in terms of fresh setups, FMCG and pharma might give us some opportunity. That is what the RRG chart is telling us. Okay, and that's where then what I do is that I go to the scanners. Now see, you can do two three things. Okay, you can either just search for the pharma and find the stocks within that, or what I also do is that now that I've understood which are the sectors that I might want to focus on, so in those cases I might specifically give more importance if some of the buy signals are coming from that sector. Okay, so what I've done is that in the basket, I have chosen Nifty Total Market, because that consists of small, mid, and large caps, and micro cap as well. So it covers a greater breadth of all the stocks. So over here, then the next thing that I do is that I try to find which are the stocks that are in bullish mode. Okay, so here I can see that there are almost 26 stocks that I can see. Okay, so APL Apollo is the one, then Bajaj Finance, Okay, this also looks interesting. That is because it's in a triangular sort of phase. Okay, uh, and you are getting a bullish crossover here, and the averages are also respecting. So this appears to be a good setup. Even actually, while I was scanning, I even liked BEML. That is because all the consolidation has happened above the averages, and it has just gone sideways. So basically, it had the previous resistance somewhere over here. It has taken its time consolidating, and now it is trying to pick up. So I think if this low holds, or maybe this low holds, we might end up seeing some interesting bets over there as well. uh, Later I was checking, I did not get any other meaningful setup. But I think Rosari was also interesting. That is because after a big decline, the stock has just consolidating, and it is now trying to break out from this range. So maybe over here also there could be some opportunity. But yes, the broader point is that I am just trying to explain you how to find stocks. So if you just go to the total market and you do this, you should be good. So say for example, if you're a very short term trader, okay, say your time horizon is just 3 days to 1 week or something like that, then maybe going to the hourly new buy makes more sense. Now we can see that there are 43 stocks, and maybe 43 stocks, checking manually all of them will be difficult. What you can do is that you can put more filters, like on daily, that is on a one time frame higher, it should be in buy and new buy. So then this comes to 2021 stocks, right? Now, what you can do is that you can quickly scan the stocks and see what are the interesting setups that you are seeing, right? Bata, you can see, looks interesting. That is because the 40 is broken. But yes, I mean, 40 is not broken, but ideally you would want some confirmation of signals after the zero line. Okay, this also we had explained in detail, how to basically find the stocks. In case if you're having any issues with sentiment indicators or RMI indicator, we have covered all of our top features at the top only. There are 6 7 videos you will see over here, including RRG. You can check them, and that will help you to deepen your understanding. And anyways, we would be interacting more often now. So if at all there are any doubts, that I can help you clarify. Okay. uh, See, today I focused more on sentiment indicators. That is because the market is dull, and there are no major observations that I was seeing today. So that's why I focused more on the sentiment indicators and tried to give you a sense why we feel more confident about the medium and the long term trend. That is because the sentiment indicators are not suggesting any red flags here. The only red flag which I forgot to mention is the 40-day exponential, I mean the 40-day AD ratio. Okay, this you can see is at the upper end, and there is some sort of divergence that is visible over here. But in one of the very short videos that I had made a few weeks back, I had mentioned that such things happen when we are in an uptrend. So see, understand one thing, that what happens is that if we are in a very big downtrend, and after that when we are coming up, so in the first leg of up move, everything is going to participate, right? And that's where you will see the 40-day ED ratio hitting almost the second extreme. But as the up move progresses, okay, like you can see over here as well, as the up move progresses, there will be bouts of correction that you will see. That doesn't mean that the uptrend is over. Okay, it simply means that in those corrective phase, maybe the breadth of the market might go bad, but that doesn't mean that we are not going to go higher. Okay, like you can see over here as well, somewhere over here, right? The peak breadth happened somewhere over here, but after that the up move kept happening, but it was I mean, lower and lower number of stocks started participating in that. So this can definitely happen. So maybe the strategy then here would be to stick to the outperformers, and that is one thing that you need to keep in mind while you are trying to form a bullish view. So I think that's it from my end today. If at all you have any questions, so I can try and address it. Maybe we have 10 minutes today. We'll wind up by 11:30, so we have 10 minutes. If you have any question, we can take it up. There is one question. हेलो सर, एक दिन पहले का ओआई कैसे चेक कर सकते हैं? सो राकेश कुमार, एक दिन पहले का ओआई कैसे चेक कर सकते हैं? So I think yes, there is one way I think we can do now. That is through the heat map feature that we had released. Okay. So one day is nothing but you are trying to understand the the OI change between 7 and 8. Correct. So आप राकेश जी, आप ये कर सकते हो कि हमारे ये जो कस्टम हीट मैप का जो फीचर है, ठीक है, इसमें जाके आप 7 to 8 करिए, तो मतलब ये कल के दिन के ओआई चेंज आपको बता देंगे। ओके, अभी इसमें से आपको सेग्रीगेट करना है बेस्ड ऑन प्राइस एक्शन, तो आपको सारे प्राइस एक्शन वाले पहले ऊपर दिखेंगे। बट अगर आपको ओआई चेंज में करना है, मतलब किसके ओआई ज्यादा बढ़े थे, तो से फॉर एग्जांपल कल बीएससी का ओआई सबसे ज्यादा बढ़ा था 13%। ओके, निफ्टी नेक्स्ट 50 का 12%, 361 का 11% एंड सो ऑन। ठीक है, तो आप ऐसे आप एनालाइज कर सकते हो। तो ये कस्टम में जाइए आप और 7 to 8 का देखिए। तो बेसिकली आपको 7 to 8 का मतलब ये है कि 7 के क्लोजिंग और 8 के क्लोजिंग के बीच में कौन सा ओआई चेंज हुआ है, दैट इज नथिंग बट कल के दिन का ओआई चेंज, ये आपको देखने मिल सकता है। ठीक है, तो कस्टम में जाइए, हीट मैप में जाइए, और ये फ्यूचर के हीट मैप में मैं बता रहा हूँ। ओके, फ्यूचर के हीट मैप में जाइए और यहाँ पे कस्टम डेट में 7 to 8 कीजिए, तो आपको वो डेटा मिल जाएगा। हाउ टू चेक IV and IVP? So, Devesh ji, right now, IV and IVP is not available, okay, in Strike yet, but we will surely try to bring that, at a later stage. Right now, we are having some priorities that is moving to the entire data to 1 minute. Once we are done with that, we will try to take up more new features there. Okay. So Voldemort Hyper, how should I start intraday trading as a beginner and make profit? See, to be very honest, I think that intraday trading requires a lot of attention and expertise. Maybe what I would suggest you would be to first focus on positionally on higher time frames. Okay, like say for example daily, weekly. If you start making money there, it is very easy. Wo same process you have to apply it on 15 minutes, 30 minutes or 1 hourly chart. Okay, that's how you will be able to nail it. But jumping directly to intraday might be very overwhelming for you, and you might find it very difficult. My suggestion would be to start with weekly and daily time frames. If you think you're making consistently money over there, okay, that's where you try and switch to the lower time frame. Now the thing is that what technique do we follow? I mean, we have suggested many techniques on Strike. You can simply go to help section and you can find the videos and see whatever style suits you. Okay, be it options, be it futures, or be it trading on an indicator which is a proprietary indicator, RMI, or how to find the tops and bottoms in the Nifty index. We have made all the videos over here. Please go through that. In case if you have any difficulties, we'll be doing live stream more often. You can ask me over there. Okay. So Devesh, your question is there any trap indicator for writers? Yes, we do have it. So over here in options there is something called as Strike OI Insights. Okay. So in this, we have given an interpretation column. Okay. So in actual, you will see this screen where you will be able to see what are the highest OI of call, put, what is the OI change, where is the OI addition happening today, and so on, right? You will be able to see all these kind of data. Now, if you want to understand where the trap is happening, okay, what we suggest is that you go to above resistance, because these are the stocks where the prices are trading above the call level, okay, and in that you do an OI sorting based on the OI change. If the OI is reducing, that means all these guys are trapped and they are looking to unwind, and they are probably going higher. I mean, they are going on a higher time strike price to short the call again. Okay, so this is one way you can find the trap. And similarly, if you want to find which are the traps which are happening on the downside, look at the below support level. Okay, in below support, if the OI change is negative, this means that, say, Oil India, the price is 447.5. It is below the put OI. Actually, see over here, call and put are both the same, so this doesn't make sense. But where there is a gap between the strike price, okay, like you can see over here, ATGL, that is Adani Total Gas, 680 was the one. Okay, I mean, over there the unwinding is happening, but it is happening at 650 now. So this can be one stock that you might want to see. So similarly, see Paytm, 920 was the put option price, but now it is 908. It is well below 920, but so far the put writers are not ready to exit. So you can do the sorting over here, highest to lowest. Okay, Godrej Property is one where unwinding is happening. Oil India, we spoke about. Tata Steel, there is some unwinding that is going on. So this is how you can find the traps. Okay, I hope that answers your question, Divesh. What the sector views which are the heated ones and which outperform if the market cool. So over here, Piyush Jain, good question. You can check our heat map also. You will get a very easy answer in that. Once you go to the heat map, go to NSE indices, you can check whatever time frames you want. So say on a 1 week time frame, okay, on a 1 week rolling time frame, FMCG surprisingly is actually doing well, okay, which is otherwise beaten down. So FMCG, oil and gas, PAC are the ones that are doing well in last 1 week, but metals, consumer durables, these are the ones that are doing worst. Now you can decide it based on the time frame that you want to look at, 1 week, 1 month, or so on. You can even do the custom dates. So we had done the custom date as well. So say for example, if I want to check from 15th May till date, because this is where the sideways range has almost occurred. So I can do the custom day by 15th May to current date. And over there, I can see that the small cap 100, 250 reality, which has been weak this week, but otherwise it has been strong. So these are the outperforming sectors. So based on what time frame you're looking at, you can go to the heat map and you can simply get the list of the sectors which are doing good. In fact, if you click within that, you can get which are the best performing stock as well. So that can help you to form some view, as to what can be looked at. Okay, I hope that answers your question. Siddesh Salvi, not able to see defense on RRG on only indices. Are there? Yes, Siddesh. So actually, what we are planning is to put more and more indices. But if you see the list of NSE indices, it is north of 100 indices. So we will try and make sure that we put some important indices. So please do give us your feedback. Defense is one that is well taken. Any other thing, please let us know. We will keep adding it. Just to be honest, right now we are focusing on 1 minute delay data for the pending modules like technical indicators and all. Once we are done with that, we'll start adding, new things. Okay. Please, sentiment indicate. So it is from Narsimha Murthy. Please, sentiment indicators for medium term daily swing is very good. Selective future trade based on daily swing adopting. Yes, yes. Thank you so much. Uh, So, Narasimha Murthy, I have explained some medium-term indicators. If you want to learn it more in detail, there is this help section where you can find how to find tops and bottom. So there is something that we have spoken from a medium-term perspective as well. Okay, so you can follow those indicators. Uh, so yeah, mentioning those indicators, I'll quickly do that. If you go to the sentiment indicators, what we look at is client plus FII net index future, then client net future index. All of this is future index. Okay, DII, sorry, no, FII net future index, and from a market breadth perspective, it could be 20 or 40. Okay, you can look at both of them because a 20 can be sometimes a medium term indicator as well, and 40 also can be a medium term indicator. So what I have done is that I have actually made a template over here. Okay, you can see over here like medium term indicators. So I just plot it and I have a look all the indicators in once. Now, if you will ask me how do I make it, so the question, so you can simply make it say, for example, FII. Okay, now you want to add client also over here. So type client net index future position. If this has come, now you just make a template over here. Okay, save indicator template and you write client and FII future positioning. Okay, and if I save this, now these two indicators will be saved. Now say for example I cut the sentiment indicators, and let me then again come back to sentiment indicators. You will see those template over there. So sentiment indicators, and you can see these indicators. So you can save it as well if you don't want to check it manually each every day. Just make a template and you will be able to see everything at once. Yesterday was a spike and Nifty remembers rocket. There are any live features for pre-alert? Uh, so far we don't have an alert section, but you might be able to capture it if you see the OI trend. Maybe once you go to options, there is a screen of open interest, and here maybe if you want to analyze what has happened yesterday. So say for example you are specifically asking me for yesterday, right? So it is 8. So if I do as on 8 means I am seeing the data as on 8th of July. Okay, and I want to see what happened between 3:30 to 11:30, right? Sorry, 2:45. So I simply do over here 2:45, and then I can see that this was the OI chain that happened. That there was a dramatic reduction in the call options, and somewhat to the put option as well. And there was 2550 which saw some addition as well. I mean, this is something that you can see, or in the cumulative OI, which means it takes into account all the strikes of Nifty index. So all the strikes over here, and this also you can see it for yesterday, and then you can probably make out where the unwinding is happening. So actually there was some reduction that had started happening from 240, but a major reduction happened around 3 o'clock. Okay, so the blue line is the one that is of call. Okay, and put, there was some spike, but majorly there was a lot of reduction in call, and that is why we saw a sharp drop. So this is something that you can check over here. So far there are no alerts yet, but we'll try to bring that at a later stage. So the TG says or explain how rollover. I mean, that is a very big concept, Dipti. So what I would suggest is that we have done a lot of webinars also on that. Just go to help section, go to the rollover analysis, finding best setups. I have explained very clearly over there. That is just a 20 minutes video or so, 20-25 minutes video. You will be able to understand the entire concept. if you don't, there are a lot of webinars that we have done on strike underscore IC YouTube. Okay, you can just go over there. Sorry, I'll have to go from here only. Okay, strike underscore IC. You just click over here. Okay, in live, just search for rollover, and you will see that there are a lot of webinars that we have done over here. Please go through that. I am very sure you will be able to get it quickly. Okay. Uh, but otherwise, over a period of time, as we even interact in this live session, I'll try to take up sometimes. Okay. How to get the historical data of a stock? That is a question by Harish. So, Harish, you can go to the future section. You can go to OI interpretation. Okay, that's where you will be able to see the historical data. So, say Gale that has been consistently in FNO. So, at the bottom that you see, it is the OI indicator which is plotted. Okay, so you can simply zoom out and you can find the OI indicator over here at the bottom. So, this we have the history from 2012. So, you should be able to see it. I hope that answers your question. Narsimha, I think I address that query. The okay, thank you. Unable to see the charts of the recent IPO like Sambhav Steel and HDB Finance. HDB Finance. I'm just checking. Ideally, that should not happen. Okay, I think there is some issue with. I'll just check once more if I can able to check it through our this main section. So HDB Financial Service. If I click over here, I can see the chart, but I think yes, the main page is not opening. So I will check with our team. But meanwhile, if you want to do any analysis, especially on the chart, just type it over here. Okay, in the search. The other one that you asked was Sambhav Steel. Sambhav Steel and Tube. Sorry, what is the exact name? Uh, okay, this also there is a chart over here. So okay, the intraday is not there, but daily one is there. So anyways, I will check this with our team and I'll try to resolve this. But meanwhile, you can just check the chart over here. Okay. Yeah, Sidesh, you're right. I think the lower time frame is not opening. I'll check with the team. Thanks for letting us know. We'll try to resolve this. Okay. So I think yeah, we are past 11:30. Thanks for joining us. We'll try to make this as a regular feature now, and please also suggest what timings you would like. Okay, I had one more time in my mind that was around 2:30. I don't know whether you would like me to do it at 11 or 2:30, or maybe even after market. You can just give your feedback, and we'll try to do it around that time. So once again, thanks a lot for joining, and see you tomorrow around the same time at 11 a.m. Thank you. Yes, thanks everyone for joining.